Hollywood has been hiding its box office blunders over the last decade or more. The trades dare not include advertising spends, so they can make you think studios win, just by recouping production costs. That's likely what Spielberg thought would happen for Disclosure Day, but not anymore. It's an anti-faith flop, and you won't believe which celebrity just dropped the truth bombs for how poorly entertainment is now performing.
You spend about the same amount that you spend on the movie to advertise movies.
Hello, folks. Hello, friends. Welcome back yet again. It's Somewhere Sunny, USA. The studio is glistening because you're listening to what we have to say. Truth with a capital T. You better believe it. And not every film out there is a Toy Story 5. We're going to talk about Toy Story 5 and the video coming out later today. It's a girl boss movie, but it's taking off and it's going to do great. We'll explain why, what they did there that changed everything for them. But Steven Spielberg, not having a Toy Story kind of weekend. 61% drop. We're going to dive into this more tomorrow as we get the final tallies on this. But his anti-faith film should send a chill up the spines of every executive who thinks about, we should make something that's anti-Jewish. We should make something that's anti-Christian. No! Run for the hills! It's not what the market wants. A 61% drop now projected by Forbes for the anti-faith Little Green Men film. It says Disclosure Day projected to drop 61% in second weekend. This is by Tim Lammers, and it goes ahead and takes the hit on to Toy Story 5 is it's doing well. Disclosure Day, not so much. Still in 3,800 screens. Basically, it's just this film and Toy Story 5. There's a few Mando screens still out there, but, you know, those are like janitor closets at this point. We've got 12 seats for Mando in this one. So everything went to Toy Story 5 and Disclosure Day, and yet, it being the only grown-up film that they want to give any kind of power to, it is dropping 61%. That's amazing. If we look here on the numbers, you can see that we've got $115 million as the worldwide box office. The media, the drive-bys, are trying to save Steven Spielberg. They're trying every way they can to save him. But darn it, did you see last week that the Hollywood Reporter revealed the advertising numbers? They're not supposed to do that. Don't do it. Oh, no. And now we know it's a $300 million break even. This film needs $300 million to break even. It's at 115. It's done. I mean, listen, another 61% drop. This thing is toast. They don't want to tell you that. They've been hiding for so long behind the idea that they could just lie and not report the advertising. But with Disclosure Day, they've went ahead and done it. Okay. So why am I talking about this, especially when we're going to have a full-blown video tomorrow covering just the collapse of Disclosure Day? Folks, because you won't believe the celebrity who admitted everything came out at a bad time for Steven Spielberg and said, yeah, we have to make double the production, double the marketing, exactly what people like Valiant Renegade have been saying, exactly like Caroline Reed at Forbes, what she's been saying. Folks, we've been telling you the truth the whole time. And the media, the trades, now seem inclined to admit this. And why? Well, folks, let's bring on the panel. Jonas J. Campbell is here with us today. What is going on? Smash that like button. Let's see what they have to say.
You know, we talk about the box office a lot on these channels, and sometimes it's so refreshing after all of the naysayers say we're getting it wrong to finally hear from someone who is sympathetic to our cause. While this person may be upset about how much the Scots drank in Boston, maybe he can come in here and help us out. Ben Affleck, Matt Towney, breaks down why a $25 million movie has to make $100 million just to break even. This from Arslan here, and I think he's appearing on a podcast, so we'll give Arslan partial credit. You spend about the same amount to advertise the movie as you spend to make it. So you spend $25 million to make it, $25 million to advertise it. Now you've got $50 million into the movie. From the theaters, you get back roughly 50%. So if a movie makes $100 million, you get back $50 million. You've got to gross $100 million just in simple math. People now go, this movie looks good, but I'll see it when it comes to streaming. But now let's hear it with his words in a slight Boston accent.
Well, if you were going to make a movie, forget even about like you forget about Dwayne Johnson or some huge star like salary, just to shoot a movie that's where there's a certain amount of like, you got your 40, 50 days of shooting and certain production, and it really varies. But like, people will tell you now, like, it's very, very difficult to make a movie for less than $25 million, right?
Yeah.
And 25, and it can go up very quickly as soon as you got a big stunt unit or big action stuff or visual effects. And here's the thing with theatrical, which is why it's very hard. Like, you spend about the same amount that you spend on the movie to advertise the movie. So if you spend $25 million to make the movie, you $25 million to advertise the movie. So now you got $50 million into the movie. And from the movie theaters, you get back roughly 50%. So if a movie makes $100 million, you get back $50 million. So if you get back $50 million, that's you $25 million movie got to gross $100 million, just in simple math. And there is a tail and there are secondary revenue streams, but that's one of the things that has made it really hard to get theatrical with that, and the fact that people now go, this movie looks good, but I'll see it when it comes on streaming, and so those two factors are really what's caused, why you see mostly the movies that come out in theaters are, Avengers. And
so it seems like Ben Affleck may be a little bit sour about those Avengers out there. And Affleck is a person that is very familiar with the movie business. He's been both an indie filmmaker, a big filmmaker. He's also been Batman. Debatable that he's been Batman, but he has technically been Batman for a little while here. And he's talking about the age-old problem that we talk about constantly here is movies need to double. Actually, in this case, he's saying it needs to quadruple its production budget in order to make their money back. And this is on the heels of a great report from Christian Silt, who is a great partner with Caroline Reed, releasing that Jurassic World Dominion has topped The Force Awakens as the most expensive film of all time. I've seen some pushback on that. It's interesting to see pushback on that since these are coming from official UK documents. But if a movie costs $600 million to make, you would have to make $2.2 billion at the box office in order to be profitable, to the point where you have to wonder why make a movie at all. And Avengers at this point, and Affleck rightly points out Avengers, leaving out Batman versus Superman and Justice League and all the movies that he participated in with the DC Extended Universe. But now we've got Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, and potentially, probably, maybe Avengers Forever, Avengers Infinity War 3, or whatever, Avengers Civil War, that might be coming as a third movie in that trilogy. Pure speculation on my part. How is it that a movie studio can justify $600 million before marketing on a movie at this point? Nat, Culture?
And I mean, can they? That's the thing. People aren't, is it worth it even for them? Because people aren't, and we're not really seeing, I don't see where they're spending that money when we go to see these movies. And I think the audience is starting to feel that as well. And that's why it's, I'll wait till streaming, because what really is the point? And yet the studios continue to throw this much money behind it, and then this much marketing as well, because there's already that disappointment from the audience from the get-go. So they have to market it even more.
No, that's very insightful. I actually left something off of my math on Avengers Doomsday here. Culture, if it's a $600 million movie, and let's say they go low with $100 million marketing budget. No, actually, maybe let's say a $200 million marketing budget for Avengers Doomsday, because at this point they see the sunk cost. They know everybody's eyes are on this picture. They've released figures saying just how much Robert Downey Jr. and the Russo brothers are making. So if we use that napkin math and do 4 times $800 million, Culture, this movie would need to, just Doomsday would need to make $3.2 billion at the box office in order to break even. If we go with Ben Affleck's math here.
And I'm uncomfortable with that math in this particular situation.
Me too, but wow.
That's a lot of money. But look, the rinse of soybeans after its net spend was still $489.9 million. That's a film that arguably lost money, which Forbes reported, again, Caroline Reed and the team she's working with over there at least is telling the truth. when it comes to that. And here's another thing people never figure in, because it's never publicized unless you, of course, get the company's records from the UK, from Companies House, is that there is interest being paid on money borrowed if you delay a film in its release. Avengers Doomsday was delayed.
The 440 that you said, that's 440 million pounds.
489.9 million.
Yeah, I think it depends on your when you translate the poundage on that one.
Possible. Yeah.
So Carbonado Industries is the end of the head over here. The last time I calculated, I had at 590 million USD.
That was gross spend. It was 493.7 million.
Right, and then not counting however much they marketed.
103.8 million in UK tax rebate.
Yeah. So we have companies spending an irresponsible amount of money on these movies, to the point where they're basically business ventures on their own. That's like it's almost as if they're spending enough money to launch an entire new division of a company. Like, again, Tubi was purchased for $440 million.
Yeah.
And it represents an entire chunk of the streaming market right now.
Like 2.5%.
Yeah.
It's like a decent chunk. And then you add that in with Roku Channel and Howdy and everything else, and you're already up there with Disney. Not to mention the fact that you have all the other stuff we talked about with the Roku deal. But beyond all that, this is an irresponsible spend on films. And I think I agree with Ben Affleck on that. It's you have to spend an exorbitant amount of money. And it comes down to the mechanisms of Hollywood, which is why I made the video I made today, which is the mechanisms of Hollywood are grossly controlled by communist-oriented union groups and by overregulation in the state of California that makes it incredibly expensive to produce things there, which is why countries like the UK offer a massive incentive structure. We're seeing more of it in other countries like Mexico. Obviously, we've already seen it in Canada. And, these incentives are pulling production starts out of California specifically. But it's not like you're going to make enough money to even replace what they get in tax incentives, because they're spending so irresponsibly. That's, I guess, my whole point. So.
No, I agree. This is an untenable model at this point. So if someone were to make a $25 million movie outside of the studio system, you get guys like Markiplier who make a movie like Iron Lung. I don't know the full story of how he tried to do that, if he tried to do it in the studio system or if he just, again, did it on his own. He's keeping most of that money, and in some way, it's very scrappy for him to release that into theaters on his own, to where it literally just has his name as the distributor of the film, and it may be like His Name Productions or Markiplier Productions or something like that. But looking at all of this, the people who are actually making money on a movie like Avengers Doomsday, let's forget about what this is doing as far as the Disney stock price, right? Forget about the idea of what part of this is performative for Wall Street here. We look at something that costs that much money. Everyone besides Disney has the possibility of making money. You've got the cast themselves with Robert Downey Jr. You get the directors. You get whoever is making money on the production side. And then you've got the toy makers, whether or not they have a good enough deal that they're not going to eat that product if it doesn't sell. I think you're right. It's the unions. It's everybody else. There was a brisk trade in people covering The Acolyte. In fact, more people on YouTube made money from The Acolyte than Disney ever made from it. Yep. I'm going to point out there's a story from Xbox. Sadia Nutella. Sorry, his name is probably not Nutella. Nadella is probably his last name. He's not a hazelnut paste. He said that Xbox content on YouTube makes more money than the Xbox division at Microsoft does. So the outside people are making more money than the actual makers of these films. And then you get someone like Ben Affleck. Well, that's an unfortunate screenshot. Here, let's go for that one. You get someone like Ben Affleck who has to do Dunkin' Donuts commercials every Super Bowl to make ends meet in order to make his alimony payments. I don't know who's actually making money in the movie industry if all they're focused on is superheroes and humongous spectacle. Nat, what do you think the next step is for Hollywood? Do they keep going down this path? Do they lower the budgets on superhero films, or do they need something else to fill in the gap for theaters?
I mean, we are seeing, and always on this channel as well, we talk about AI and the ability and possibility that people might have to produce their own things in a cheaper, faster way as well. So they have that threat already looming. But I think because they've built the system to be as, in a way, bloated, not saying that nobody's needed or that there's, but there is too much money being wasted in things that I think could be cut back. But because that's the way it works and it benefits certain people that they don't want to stop benefiting, then it's just going to continue until, or if they ever do realize that nobody is interested, nobody cares, and they're just wasting money and continue to lose it. But it's also losing opportunities for filmmakers and creators that could be getting even a little bit, a tiny percentage of that to create something that a lot of people would be interested in. Like you were mentioning, people on YouTube, people on others using the certain things, or the Xbox creators, etc., are able and understand the audiences a lot better, and then how to use the IPs they already have better than the companies themselves, because they've been too focused on the whole money, doing it the same way we've always done it aspect.
I think at the end, it's the corporatism of all of this that has made it to where it fails. I wonder if the established systems have to be torn down in order for all of this to change. I remember George Lucas talking about how much he hated the distribution model of businesses, of the movie business, and how much he wishes he could have done something else. I wonder who the next George Lucas is going to be. Probably not going to be Ben Affleck.
Are you sick and tired of stuff being swept under the rug because you or the media are too lazy to actually deal with it? Or are things just building up around you so much that you can no longer ignore it? Also like the mainstream media? Well, I got the solution for you. I'm Wilton the Troll, and I want to tell you about this revolutionary new product called Jonas. That's right, no longer do you have to put up with stuff shoved under the rug. You can actually get rid of it and dispose of the problem in seconds by using Jonas. You can, in a matter of seconds, deal with the political and illogical buildup of the muck and grime around you effectively and efficiently with Jonas. You might think this is an ordinary vacuum, but you'd be wrong. You can clean up and remove from one end, but Jonas, he actually works from both ends. From the back end, Jonas can blow a whole bunch of hot air, and that's cool. Remember, folks, if you actually want to deal with the dirt and grime the mainstream media has been neglectful about, get Jonas, because Jonas sucks.